name's Tim Taylor. I'm the series producer and creator of Team. I'm here to talk about our new exciting project called Dig Village. We're going to be finding ways to explore the history and the archaeology of some of Britain's most amazing villages.
What else do you look at in a place?
Well, I mean, obvious things like were the churches. I mean, churches are usually good indicators of medieval activity, but then again, not always. I've worked down in Essex a fair bit, and the churches in Essex appear to have nothing around them. They're 400 metres from the settlement. Places like Suffolk, the church is smack in the heart of the village, and there's even Saxon around it. So things like that's always a good start. And if you've got somewhere called the Old Manor, for instance, in the village, then there's a fair chance it's the Old Manor house. So that gives you your initial sort of targets to spread out from, I suppose.
The church is a little microcosm of the story of the village. And it's very easy to upset people about their church in the village. But certainly when we go around churches, we're looking for certain things. And I think probably the main lesson that people need to remember is that really in the past, certainly before 1750, people had no real concept of sort of heritage or anything like that. And the main aim was to have the latest, up-to-date, the biggest, the most fashionable of whatever it was. So that if your church is an absolute gem of an Anglo-Saxon structure, or an absolute gem of a Norman structure, we might appreciate that. But what that means in the history of that community is nobody cared a damn about that church after 1150 or whatever. Because if they had have done, and they've had the money, they would have torn it down and built another one. So that, you know, the church is a reflection of the interest and the money and the spare money and the attention of the local community and the local lords. Well, the simple answer is we usually don't know. But if your sort of historical research shows that, for example, you've had a Minster church, a very important local church before any of the others, that probably came before a village. And often the village is bolted onto that. But in the vast majority of cases, we think that the church is a private building put up by a local lord in, say, the 12th century. So it's right next to his house, the manor house, and it serves his family and and it serves his family and the local village community. But it's usually very difficult to say what the origin is. It's a little bit easier to look at the actual building and ancillary stuff and say something about how it's developed. And there are three things really. You look at the site that it's on. Is it next to the manor house? Is it in the village? Is it out in the fields on its own? You know, what actual site has been selected? What is the structure of the building? And it's partly that business of how much has been invested in it. I mean, a lot of churches are a complete mishmash of people adding bits, punching new windows and doors in, patching old ones up. Super PEV, start with PEV, you know, and they're being revised now by Bridget Cherry and others. So, yeah, you get your Pevsner Buildings of England ex-county and see what he says about it. It's the best, quickest little lead-in, and the introductory essay at the front, which says the best Romanesque churches are, the best early English churches are, the best Saxon fonts are, the best inscribed stones are. You need to know all that stuff in case your village is one of those. Things like the font, the pulpit, the altar, altar rails, chancel arch, all the bits that you look at will give you some idea of how much attention's been paid for it, how much upgrading's been done, whether there's a big local family or not, you know, how many tombs are there in the chancel, so on and so forth.